Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome to an Arknights Endfield video. Alright, so this time with the technical test, as you can see, I've been playing the game for almost 1 week now. So hopefully, this is going to be a straight up review. I'll give you guys as much thoughts that I can about everything that you need to know about the game. Now do keep in mind this is not going to be the final version of Arknights Endfield, but hopefully it's going to give you an idea of what you can expect if you are looking forward to this game. When will this game release? I have no idea. Probably this year, probably next year, right? Maybe 2025, but I do think that the game is relatively ready. Alright, so in terms of what the game has, in terms of the contents, I just figured that they will be able to polish it a little bit more and give you a little bit of extra story and just, update as content goes.
33161 reporting in. Enfield Transport Unit 33161 arriving at the designated airspace. ETA 20 minutes. View is good. Situation normal. Bringing her down by 200. Adjusting Iridium engine output.
Key loud and clear. 33161. How are things over on your side, Mr. Hawthorne?
Don't worry. Everything is fine. I'll be arriving soon enough. Cargo is safe.
Do I enjoy playing the game? Yes, I enjoy playing the game. Every single part of it is actually really fun for me. Now, first things first, we'll jump into the settings. Hopefully, that's going to be the first part where I have a minor criticism, right, going on right there. So a lot of players have come to me and asked regarding a couple of things. So number one, graphics quality, you can see here, you can set to high, medium, low. And that's pretty much it, right? It's pretty straightforward. Resolution and FPS is locked to these two options for now, right? But you can see in terms of voice acting, you either have English or Chinese. So there's no Japanese as of now. I'm not sure if that will be added in the future. Can't give you guys any confirmation of that. Hopefully they'll add that in the future, right? But as you can see, graphic settings are pretty simple, alright? Hopefully when the game releases, there will be more configuration moving forward, alright? It's just mostly just that. I wish they would give you something that I would love to see for especially a PC game, right? It's like the configuration settings, like you can adjust anti-aliasing as you go. Options for higher FPS would be nice as well. But other than that, the game has been extremely fine, alright? So the game did not stutter at all. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit more about the combat, alright? So we're going to jump into that first. I'm going to try to use a Reef EXP. Alright, as you can see, this particular stage is going to consume what they call Sanity, right? So Sanity is basically maximum stamina. So you can basically try to enter the reefs, basically like dungeons, and this will consume sanity as it goes. I'm going to dive deeper into that, but for now, let's just jump into the difficulty 2 for this particular one. So these are EXP materials, and show you guys a little bit about the combat. So these are the characters that I have. We have the Administrator, Prolika, Chen Xianyu, and of course, Fajal. Now, I've heard a lot of criticism about the game's combat, and personally I do like it. It's very different, alright? So you're probably going to see this very similar with a lot of other games. Alright, I'll move my face cam because it's blocking some of the characters, as you can see. So as you can see, at the bottom middle, I have the skills of the characters which I can use. So let's say I'm going to press 1, so this is going to configure my Administrator skill. So when you press this, the time sort of stops, right? You can basically try to aim and see who you want to hit. I can try to hit this tree. Boom. Boom. Alright. So notice every enemy has this 3 white bar thing. Every time you use a skill on them, right, you reduce that white bar. So let me go in one more. So this time I'm going to use a Fragile skill. Alright, so again, this guy consume 2 more bars. So this guy has 1 bar left. If I go and do this on him, so now he gets stunned. So if you remove their so-called shield, they basically get stunned. Every time you use a skill on them, you basically sort of remove their shield, right? So during stun, they seem to take more damage, right? And also they are unable to move around for a short period of time. So that's pretty much how you approach combat in this game. There's also these potions, as you can see at the bottom, that you can configure. So I have quick access just to heal out my characters. Obviously can do that as well, right? Now once you have the energy of the characters, alright, so once you have the energy maxed out for each of this character, you will be able to use their so-called ultimate skill, right? Now one thing that you will notice is there is no dodge. So it's going to feel a little bit awkward. Now if you come from a different game, for example, let's say you come from Aether Gazer, PGR, or even Genshin, right? So it's going to feel a little bit awkward because like, oh, the enemy is going to attack me, what do I do? You should just walk out, or you should just jump. There's no dodge button. You are supposed to take hit at times, right? And that's where you want to like try to take advantage of this potion that you are pretty much able to craft and use, right? So it feels like item is going to be a necessity. Obviously there are some characters that can heal. For example, this guy right here, Fajal. Alright, so I'm able to use my ultimate skill for my administrator, so I'm going to show you guys. He's gonna do some damage, as you can see. So this guy is moving around. I'm gonna aim with Chen. I'm gonna stun and break this guy. I would say combat is pretty intuitive, right? I do like it. Obviously it does depend on... Chen has very strong single target attack damage, right? So this guy is gonna heal. So not bad, kind of decent right there, alright? So one of the more important strategy also is very important. The enemy seems to aggro towards the main character that you control most of the time. So if somebody is low, for example, you can see Chen right there. Chen is really low, right? And my character administrator is really high. So the ideal way to go about it is to press F3, swap to Chen, you know, try to configure her better. And in that case, hopefully I'm able to, you know, not let her die. A little bit of strategizing going on. They are always going to be attacking the enemies. There's no way to dodge, so you're gonna get hit most of the time eventually, right? It does seem like your allies take less damage, you know, and they do sometimes dodge a little bit around, but there's gonna be an occasion where sometimes they are just gonna take hits in an AoE and stuff. So it's a totally different battle system. So what does this leads up to, or what does this mean, right? So this means because of the limitation of the battle system, it's hard for you to fight enemies that are way stronger than you. So now this is a area that's slightly further. You can see the enemies are somewhat nearer to my level. So these are the enemies that are level 36. Alright, so let's try and fight the enemies here. You can see that the enemies here, they are going to do way more damage. Alright, so I'm going to try my best to fight them like normal, you know, I'm just gonna spam skills. Okay, do that. You can see some of my characters are somewhat already dying. As you can see, Chen already died right there, right? That is kind of crazy. Now, because of how the battle system works, you are encouraged to basically power up all 4 of your characters equally if possible, right? If not, some of them might end up dying faster, alright, because they have less HP and stuff. Unlike in certain games like, for example, Genshin, because your focus is just one character, you can basically have one weaker character and one strong character where you build like your DPS or something, but your support you don't really build as much. And you can constantly swap around, just swap to the support to basically use the skills and then swap back to the main DPS character that you have hyper build with, you know, high HP, all the gears on. But in this game, it's probably harder to do that because you are required to switch around and enemies will hit your allies throughout as well. So this is the depot, right? So you basically come here. You can do a couple of things. You can basically rest, you can revive your character, but you can see right here, there's a little bit of limitation. Boom, you can see they don't increase up to full HP, they increase up to 50% HP. Alright, so I'm not sure if that's going to be how it is throughout. But for now, I don't really see any way of getting that up yet. So there is a manage depot that you can do as well. So this is going to be where you can stash your items right here. So the game is very inventory heavy. Basically, you are going to need to gather items and then shift them around to the depot. You gotta constantly traverse and find this thing in the map, right? This is basically like a teleport thing that you can teleport around. Submit Ethereum, meaning that you can basically submit these things, and this is going to give you additional slots in the back, which is going to be probably the other focus of the game besides the combat, the exploration. Alright, every time you craft items, let's say I were to craft this thing. Alright, I have this thing right here, Originium Ore. I want to construct Origo Crust, so I'm going to add them to the queue. I can craft them right here, right? So you can see you can always craft items, and you should always be crafting items. The game do encourage you to craft a ton of items. I'm not sure if I like this part, right? Because you are constantly going to run out of slots, and then you constantly have to come right here to always move your items away. Now, is this going to be that big of a deal in the long run? I'm not sure. I think once eventually when you are able to unlock more slots. As you can see, the only way to unlock more slots is to be able to submit Ethereum right here. Ethereum are basically those balls that you find across the maps. Are basically, you know, you get rewarded for exploring. It does feel like this is going to be the core gameplay. As you can see, it is designed intentionally that way. You can see if I grab this, and if I grab this, and if I grab this, and if I grab this. So notice these are all the same items, the Originium ore. And they have intentionally designed it in a way that you can only hold up to 50 items max, right? But in this stash, you can hold up to 10,000 items. So it's basically designed to clog your inventory if you constantly collect the items to the point where you have so much of this. You can see 10k is the max there. I cannot now I have to like do something else with this, right? It's going to be something that is an issue moving forward. So whether you like it or not, you're going to constantly come here, move your items around so that you can go back to exploration. That's going to be something that happened to you. Item management is going to be something that's very important, very crucial, very key in trying to explore as well. Now, let's talk about characters first, alright? So, I think characters are going to be something that's very, very important. As of the time I'm recording this video, during the technical test, there's no gacha, alright? So, I'm not able to tell you guys or explore more about the gacha system, tell you guys about the raids, etc. But for now, it's just you straight up obtain some characters. Hopefully these characters are actually free, you know, as you can obtain in the story as well. So you got the administrator right here, alright? So this is going to be the main character. You either select male or female depending, alright? So every character has their own weapon. So I'm not aware if there will be a weapon gacha. I have a feeling there might be. So you can see we have like this, the 2-star weapon which is grey, the 3-star which is the green one, the blue one is the 4-star, and then the purple one is the 5-star. I have a feeling there will be 6-star, which is like gold weapons. There's something that we'll have to wait and see, but for now, the highest I can get is the 5-star. So for example, Administrator uses the short weapon, you can see right here, which is a sword, right? And then Perlika, which is also another character you obtain for free, she basically used this stuff, alright, which is very, very cool. As you can see, I do have a staff, a 5-star staff called Star Call. Very, very interesting. So each of them will give their own bonus stats, right? And you can see some of them can do certain things. For example, increase thermal damage dealt by 8%. Alright, so very, very cool. You can power up weapons just like, you know, any other game. You can upgrade them, you can upgrade the characters, etc. You can use other weapons to fit into the weapons, or you can basically just use the level up materials. So right here you can see give them EXP. So once they reach level 20 or every 20 levels, you will need to tune them, alright? And when tuning, basically you're gonna need some credits, and you're gonna need right here this material cost, right? Very, very important. And these things can be farmed as well. So these are going to be how you approach the weapon system in the game. Very, very cool. Also we have Chen Xianyu here. She's probably one of my favorite characters. I do like her design. I do think she's a very strong character as well in the combat, alright? Probably one of the better damage dealers. And then I also have Fajal, which is also a healer, right? And then a Wolfguard, which is a character with a very unique weapon. Right now you can see Claymore, right? So a bigger sword. With that you also have gears, right? Like I mentioned, so you can put an armor, glove, kit, toolkit right here to basically form some of this set, right? So depending on what you're trying to achieve. So if it's a tank, you can go with that. So the lower rarity ones, you know, you can't get that yet. There's also skills. You can power up your skills using a separate material. Right now you can see you will probably need to obtain these. Some of these materials will be very, very important in leveling up your character skills. So yeah, that's pretty much it, right? In terms of there's also file that you can basically try to check out the audio log of the characters. But like I mentioned, for now there's only English and Chinese voice acting for the time being. So now let's talk about the other aspect of this, which is going to be the hub base. Alright, so I'm gonna move right there. So as you can see, you can basically craft this thing as well, the zipline pylon, which is very cool. Alright, so you can basically put this wherever you want, and you can zip around in areas. Obviously, there's a limitation on how many you can build, right? But it is pretty cool. You are able to move around. So welcome to my factory, my hub base. So this is where everything happens. Once you're inside here, we are going to constantly be constructing items. Alright, this is going to be one of the main gameplay of Arknights Endfield. This is what separates it apart from a lot of other gachas. So let's talk a little bit more about this. I'm going to try my best to see if I can condense as much as I can. So you have the basic FAC, where you can craft things. Alright, there'll be belt basics, there'll be mining, there will be a mole and field, etc, etc. So every single item that you find on the field, you are going to come here, alright? So right here there's formulas where you can craft the items, you can see depending on what you need. So right now let's try and craft this particular thing, but to craft that thing I will need a bunch of bug flowers. So I'm going to insert bug flowers right here. So I have let's see, I should have gathered some, so you can put up to 50, right? So now you can see I start production. I've connected the belt across. So the bug flowers being pushed out in the factory, you can connect the belt. So right here I have connected one all the way to right here, the filling unit. So in the filling unit, you can see bug flower plus the crystallite bottle will be able to produce the recovery cocktail, alright, which is this thing that can be used to heal your characters. So obviously you can make items here, very cool. Alright, so there's going to be plenty of things that you can make and craft along the way, but hopefully you guys get the gist of it. There's too much things for me to explain, but everything is going to need power. Power is going to be your main source of stuff, and then you have the protocol, anchor core. This is going to be the most important thing. Also you have let's say planting seeds, alright, seed picking units. As you can see, you can basically plant seeds right here. There's also this thing, just a packaging unit, which you can use to craft some of this output cache. So the problem is the items can sometimes be full, alright, so you just gotta come here and collect. For example, this one, you can see my fitting unit is full, 50 out of 50, so I just gotta collect it, put it to the stash, and then you can see now it's start production again. Ideally input and output of all of this factory. There's also this medical arts which you can heal your character, so this is where you are using this to basically fill up your characters to full. You can also increase your SP, where you'll be able to activate their ultimates. So once in a while you're also going to encounter this particular place where you can play some of these electric mining rigs or rigs in general to basically just farm some of these ores for you, where this will be just straight up sand to your base. Alright, so very cool. Obviously this is going to be something that's very unique. Now this thing right here can get really complicated. Alright, it can get really complicated in the AIC, and I can see this can maybe turn off some players. Alright, depends. Not everyone likes to do some of this item management and factory management stuff. I can see that. For me, I don't mind it, and it's kind of fun, but it is going to be crucial. Alright, if you are wondering is this important or not, yes, it's going to be important, because you are going to be able to craft some of these high-end gears pretty much, right? Some of these, and I believe as of now, as far as I can tell, these are going to be very important for your characters. As you can see, let's say the gloves. Alright, this is going to be able to, if you get 2-piece, shorten your skill cooldown by 10%, 3-piece, shorten your skill cooldown by 15%. Also, we have some of these that increase crit rate. Pretty much, the equipment sets, you need to be able to craft them here, and this is going to be kind of important, alright, if you think about it. Now, in terms of stamina, right, so how do you consume stamina, right? So obviously, there are rifts, which are pretty much stages that you can use consume your so-called sanity. Alright, so it's this thing right here. Right here you can see these are the recharge rate of the stamina, right? Now you can basically find them right here. Alright, so these are the things called the rift. So this is basically ascension materials, alright, for you to like promote your characters. Right here there's no more, but I can jump into a different area. For example, in the hub base, as you can see right here, there's a few different ones. So this is going to be something for you to promote your weapons or tune your weapons, right? And then we have one more here. This is for weapons. For characters, you're going to use this one. Alright, so this thing right here, the compact strip. So as you can see, right, this is where you're consuming your sanity most of the time. Alright, so with that being said, that is going to be it for Arknights Endfield technical test showcase. Let me know what you guys think. If this is a game that you guys are looking forward to, or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't seem that interesting to you. Maybe you would prefer a game with a simpler system. I can see this can be a little bit too complicated for some players. I think they need to tone it down a little bit as well, because it can be a little bit scary actually for the more casual players, right? I don't mind it. I do enjoy it a lot, but whether or not you enjoy it is going to be something that maybe That's something that every single player will find out once the game officially releases. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care, subscribe if you haven't already, give this video a like. Have a nice day, goodbye.